Okay, 2 lives in one day. I meant 2 lives back to back. Yeah, we're back. I was just live, got a phone call, and it shut everything down, but I'm back. Okay, so we're talking about pricing for photographers. Stop charging like a hobbyist. Who I'm calling out? I'm calling out somebody. Stop charging like a hobbyist. Start running your business like a business owner. Start thinking like an entrepreneur. Stop playing yourself. Stand on business, friends. Stand on business, okay? Hey, what's up? Okay, good. Hey, J&K Photography, looking forward to this. Tell me about what you are looking forward to. Tell me something. Like, what do you struggle with pricing? I probably have a really good idea because I coach other photographers and have for the last couple of years. So I already know, but I want to know specifically like what you're struggling with. What's up? I would love to know what you're struggling with, J&K, and anybody that's watching. If you're a photographer, we're going to be talking about pricing tonight. So if you're new around here, what's going on, y'all? My name is Ray Whitney. I am a photography business coach. I have the honor and privilege of coaching some of the most amazing photographers across the nation, helping them make more money in their business and helping them to develop into confident CEOs. Okay. So we get to business over here. We stand 10 toes down and we are about the numbers and the data, and pricing aligns absolutely with that. So I'm always interested in pricing. We're in a rural area, so this can be challenging. Totally. Okay. Love that. Love to know that. Thank you for sharing. So I want to just put a little caveat because I'll be talking about it a few times during this live and over the next couple of weeks, but my foundational business course called From Hobbyist to Pro is currently open. I am doing the 2.0 version, which I'm really, really, really excited about. And the early bird rate ends this Friday. Okay. So I'm doing a live 5-week cohort for this program and course. And so you'll get to be with me all of April. We start April 2nd and for the live training, but you also will get access to this course for a year. The course material, I have trainings in there on SEO, pricing, lighting, content, marketing, building your first website, like everything that you need when it comes to building a solid foundation to your business. This course touches on it. So when I say solid foundation, this is the groundwork, right, of building a sustainable photography business. You want to build something that is strong from the ground up. Okay. And I truly believe that when we think about entrepreneurship and developing into confident CEOs, it takes intentional work and strategy, time, effort, dedication, discipline, courage. It takes a lot, right? It doesn't unintentionally just happen. It happens by you being you focusing on that, focusing on becoming a better business owner, on becoming a better entrepreneur, on thinking like an entrepreneur, on running your business using data and metrics and things like that. And this is a piece of it. So pricing is a piece of it. So, hey, stop charging like a hobbyist. That's the title of tonight's live. If you're interested in joining From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0, the 5-week live cohort, you can comment the word grow, or you can head over to the link in my bio, sign up, or you can just come over in my DM and chit chat with me to see if it's a good opportunity for you. But I would venture to say this. If you are struggling with your website, what needs to be on your first website, if you're struggling with pricing, if you're struggling with content, if you need help developing into a better business owner, any of these things, then you need to get your tail into From Hobbyist to Pro and get this coaching, right? It is a must. And I'm really excited about doing this 2.0 version in April because Q2, right? Like we're still very early in the year. Q1 is the rev off. Q2, we go up a little bit. Q3 and Q4 are our quarters for photographers. The weather is nice. Spring is sprung. Summer is here. People are moving and grooving. There's all kinds of holidays and things. And like, this is when people are wanting to have these photo sessions and have these experiences and capture these moments and do the things, you know what I mean? Like, this is a good time to put some things in place for your business, marketing, promotion, content, better pricing, all of that jazz, right? So we touch on all of that in From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0. Also, I want to say that this is a great, perfect time for you to work with me. If you've ever been eyeing working with me or working with a business coach in general, like if you've never had a coach in your business, this is the perfect opportunity because the early bird rate is like a steal. And this course has so much content in it that you actually need: SEO, content, marketing, pricing, post-production, getting published, your first website, all the things that you need. So I just am excited about this 2.0 version. So I had to say that. So let's get into some pricing conversations. I would love to, someone earlier was on here. I got kicked off, but I'm back. And someone earlier was saying that they're like in a rural area. And so they love to hear conversations around pricing. And I love that. So this is how I feel about pricing. I feel like your prices should be based on some type of data and justification. I do not get with, and I do not coach my photographers to just pick a random price out the air and throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. Like, that's not how we do pricing over here. I believe that pricing needs to reflect how much it costs you per month to run your business, the capacity in which you want to shoot, right, per month. And I believe that you need to have like a base price or maybe like a base hourly price. And then everything needs to be based, like all of your packages need to be based on that, based off of data and hard justification, like hard data. Like, I believe in that. And I see so many photographers, they don't do that, right? They have these packages that they've made and they just kind of picked a number because they saw other photographers charging that amount, or they felt like it was good. They picked a number out the sky and then they made these packages and they have like these tiers and they don't make sense, right? And one thing that I know that I've learned over my last 10, 11, 12 years of having my own photography business is that clients are going to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Like whatever you have, whatever packages you have, and if you have like an a la carte section, or if you are saying, oh, my hourly rate is this, they are going to be like, okay, the hourly rate is $300, but this package is, $850, but it only includes 2 hours. Like, they're going to do the math right there, then and there, right? And so what is best, so you're not embarrassed or making a mistake by your pricing, is that you also have done the math. Your math is mathing, right? And that you have hard justification. The other thing that I think is really important for photographers is to have someone review your pricing strategy, your packages, what you're putting into the world. Because a lot of times it makes sense to you because you made it, but it is absolutely confusing to the consumer. And confusing pricing is the quickest way to lose a sale. It's the quickest way for a lead to move on to the next photographer, right? Or for them to move on and do whatever it is that they were doing before they, inquired with you. Like, it is overwhelming. I've been there. You've probably been there if you think about it, right? So I believe that having like simplistic pricing strategies is so important and so smart. And again, this is why it needs to be, you need to have like justification and data with it. Okay. Sorry. As soon as I get on live, my nose starts itching. So weird. Anyway, hey, you guys, thank you for joining. If I got my photographers in the building, can y'all put some can y'all put some cameras in the chat? Can y'all put some cameras in the chat? If you're a photographer and you are here, put some cameras in the chat so I know I got my folks in the building. If you know other photographers, send this live to them because we about to drop some gems. We about to get into it. I would love if you shared it. Okay, the cameras are coming in. I love it. Where are y'all tuning in from? Like, listen, when I'm on live, like, I love when people talk back to me, ask me questions, give me feedback, give me little hearts, whatever. Like, that lets me know you all are resonating. I am here to help you. Thank you. I got the cameras. I love it. I'm here to help, right? Like, and so if something comes up where you have a question or like, man, that really hit, girl, I need to hear that, whatever, give me some love in the comments. Oh, you're from Durham. I love that. Come on, Nacogdoches, Texas. Okay. I love it. You know what, J&K, I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I saw .us, I thought that was like, I think I read it like .uk. It's just so random. So I really hope you got Nacogdoches in your bio. Well, that's another live for another day. I've done a lot of content around bio stuff, but anyway, we're gonna get on that. So love it. Got Texas in the building. I got North Carolina in the building. My folks are here. Okay, so let's I'm proud that you said it correctly. Yes. Like, I'm here in Houston. I've heard of Nacogdoches before. So yes, you in a good space. So what is one of the biggest pricing mistakes that photographers make? What's the number one pricing mistake that I see so many photographers make? And I just spoke to this, is having convoluted, confusing pricing. Okay, you got all these packages. You got about 5, 6, 7, 8 packages, and you're presenting them to the client. And again, they make sense to you, but they do not make sense to the client, right? Like, I believe that when a lead comes in, based on what they share with me, I immediately should know which package in the most simplest form, easiest way is perfect for them, just based on the information that they shared with me, right? And maybe if, say, they didn't share any information, maybe I need to reach out and ask a couple more questions so I can gain the clarity, so I can then point them in the right direction, okay? So, Tampa, Florida's in the building. I love it. Thank you for joining. Hello. So, again, the biggest pricing mistake that I see photographers making is having convoluted, confusing pricing. And it makes sense to you, but it does not make sense to the consumer. Everything that we do in our business, we need to be thinking about the consumer. We need to be thinking about our messaging to them. We need to be thinking about the way our packages are structured for them. We need to be thinking about how we can create content to connect with them. We need to be thinking about having a pricing structure that can meet their needs, their wants and needs, and is simple and makes sense to them, right? So that is one of the biggest mistakes that I see so many photographers making. I would have to say the second biggest mistake that I see photographers making is not having any data, no justification behind why your prices are your prices. Now, this is something that you don't necessarily have to share with consumers, like why, your data in it, but it helps you be able to confidently say your price, say the rate, say the package, and just leave it on the table. That's a big part of selling. Like, I see so many photographers, they feel weird around saying what their rates are. And when they say their rate or they say the price, then they start rambling on and trying to explain this and explain that because they've already counted themselves out, or they're pricing them. They're like scared because they can't believe that they said it, and they're pricing themselves from their own pocket. Okay? A lot of times you may not be like, I remember when I first started my photography business. Let me say this. When I first started, I was young. I was like in my mid-20s. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know a lot around but being a professional photographer, what professional photographers charge. I didn't know around a lot. So when I started to position myself as a luxury wedding photographer or a high-end wedding photographer, and I wanted to get these like really nice, beautiful weddings, I was not my ideal client. Like, meaning my prices shocked the crap out of me. They shocked me. Like, I couldn't even believe that this was the price, but it was the price, right? Because I had justification and data behind it. I knew how much time it was going to take me to shoot. I knew how much time it was going to take me in post-production. I knew what it was going to cost me to have my team there. Like, I thought about all of the different elements that go into said wedding. And I came up with my packages that met my needs at that time, right? That were based on my cost of doing business, that were based on my sales goals, that was based on the capacity in which I wanted to shoot, right? And so this is the justification that is so important. Listen, when you start working with me, one thing you're going to do is get in the numbers. You are going to know your numbers. CEOs know their numbers in their business, period. Okay. If you are a business owner and you don't know your numbers, you don't know how much it's costing you to run your business per month. If you don't have sales goals, if you've not looked at historical data of what how much did you sell in January of last year compared to how much you sold in January of this year? How much did you sell in February? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't know like data and numbers, because numbers don't lie, it's going to tell you so much, right? And I tell you, so many of my photographers, they don't know this. They're just like, girl, I don't know. And not only do they not know it, they loathe. They don't like it. Like, they don't like thinking about numbers and data and cost of doing business and sales goals. Like, they don't, like, photographers just don't want to do that part. Like, we just want to be creative and get out and shoot and, you know, just like be creative, like be in our creative flow. But this is the news flash, y'all. Running a sustainable photography business is 80% business and 20% shooting. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Okay? I've had my business going on 12 years now. This is my 10th year being full time. I have made the coveted 6 figures, multi 6 figures in my business. Every year I've, made my set. Like, I've done this. Ask me how I know. Like, some of the most talented photographers, they're so good, beautiful work, beautiful images, but they don't know how to market. They are not consistent in their marketing and in their content. They don't have an email list. They don't talk to the list, right? Their prices are not based on actual data and justification. So as soon as money comes, money goes, right? You're not thinking about profit margins. You're not thinking about cost of doing business. You're not thinking about sales goals, right? Like, this is what pricing is about. Okay. Now, I do believe that it's important to, know like what your competitors charge and like kind of like the going like range of services in your set area. Like, I think that's important, but I do not agree with charging based on what someone else charges. Like, I just think that is just setting yourself up for failure for a few reasons. Number one, a lot of times other business owners, they're undercharging, especially photographers. They're just not charging enough and they're not seeing the profits. They're not feeling the money. That's when burnout and overwhelm and overwork and like all of that churn, it's like a cycle that they never can get off of. And usually it's because they are not charging enough, right? They are charging like a hobbyist when you're trying to run a big business, right? If you're trying to do big business, hobbyist ain't gonna work. Right? And so you have to start thinking like the big business owner, thinking like the entrepreneur, thinking like the CEO. And what do? They use data. They use metrics, right? They have justification so that when you say your price and whenever you say your package, it is what it is, right? Because it's based on the data. It's based on what is currently happening in your business, your sales goals, the momentum, the demand, like all of these things that are really, really important. Okay. So in Hobbyist to Pro 2.0, we talk about pricing strategy. And not only that, I'll be able to look at your pricing and give you feedback, right? I'm going to have you get into the data and get into the numbers and be able to analyze what you kind of have going on now and what is off so that you can make your adjustments. Now, this is one thing that I know too. A lot of times I work with photographers on their pricing and we end up restructuring and revamping their pricing altogether. It takes a minute. I'm not the type of coach that's like, hey, you need to double the price. Let's go. Double it tomorrow. Let's go. Because you're not going to feel confident in selling that. The other side of pricing that I think is really important is pricing your packages or your services in a way that you feel confident about selling, right? Because that's a big part of it. Selling is energy. And when you feel confident about something, you show up, right? Like for this From Hobbyist to Pro, I feel so confident about this early bird rate and this regular rate. Like, it is a steal. And I think that if you are a photographer and you're struggling with your business, you want 2025 to be a way different year than 2024. You want to make more sales. You want to get better at content. You need help with pricing and marketing and just positioning yourself as a true business owner and building something sustainable. You better get yourself inside of From Hobbyist to Pro. And if you're smart and you're listening to this live right now, you better get on this early bird rate because it ends on Friday and save you $100. Right? I think that $297 is a freaking steal. $397 is a freaking steal, right? $1,000. I've sold this course for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, right? Like, it is worth every penny, because this is what I know. Once you get inside and you learn things you had no idea you needed to know, you can't unknow them, right? And like, one session, if you are charging $300 minimum, like, and all y'all better be, you know, if you're not trying to be a hobbyist and you're trying to run a business, if you're charging around $300 for a session, one session can put you in the ROI, can put you in the profit for investing in this course. That to me is like a no-brainer. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you another one. I'm going to take it a step further. So today in my stories, I posted around like content for photographers. Like, I showed some behind the scene content that I made, and then I made a reel. And then I was like, let me like talk about a couple of pieces of content that I think that all photographers need to be posting. I posted this in my stories today. Y'all, free game, free tea, free masterclass in the stories. If you go and do exactly what I said do, if you go and create those 4 pieces of content that I told you about in my stories today, this week, mark my words, you're going to have people that are like interested, maybe a new lead, maybe some new followers, some new connections, new DM conversations, right? Like, there is like, this is science. Like, being a business owner, it takes science, it takes intentionality, right? And when you know better, you do better. And I think that's the best thing about investing in the business development and being in community and learning from other people that have started a business from the ground up, built something sustainable, and now, you know, are able to support their whole entire life. You know, that's me, right? So I hope this is resonating. So, the biggest mistake, again, that I see photographers making, I got my little notes here because I will get off track and I will go on a tangent. And again, you all, if you have any questions, please let me know. If this is resonating and hitting and you need to hear it, please let me know. I love a good chit chat back in the comments. It just brings so much life to these lives. You know what I mean? So the number one mistake is having very convoluted and confusing pricing. All these packages, it does not make sense. It does not make sense from a visual standpoint, but it also does not make sense from a math standpoint. Ask me how I know. I actually was just coaching a photographer this week. We had our VIP session and we were, again, pricing, okay? Because I want some quick wins, some quick changes. And I tried for in the live, but people can't view it because it's a private page, apparently. Whose page is private? Oh, their page is private or my page is private? My page is not private? Oh, no. Let me know. Did something change? My page is not private. That's weird. I'll have to check on that. No, I know my page is not private because if I go to Instagram.com/Ray Whitney, boom, we pop up. We there. Hey, they're saying my page is private. Huh. No. My page is not private. My page ain't never been private. I'm a business owner. I'm a coach. Can't have you business owners and coaches can't have no private page. Can't nobody find me. That's weird. Thank you for sharing that. I don't know. Maybe there's a glitch. Thank you for trying to share. Okay, you're good. You're not private. Okay. They said they couldn't get to the live. So interesting. Well, pop up. We pop up. Yes, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on, y'all. But thank you for sharing. Okay, that's all good. Okay, so having convoluted, confusing pricing, right? And also not having data and justification behind your prices. Again, clients will absolutely run the math on you. Right? They will run the math on you. You say you include these 8 files and you say each digital image costs X amount. And so they'll do the X amount times 8 plus your hourly rate. Like, they're going to do the math. So you need to do the math before they do the math. Like, the math needs to math. Right? And not only does it need to math in the sense of a package and like value, but it also needs to math in a sense of sales goals and capacity and cost of doing business. Like, this is what pricing is justified on. And this is exactly how I teach pricing in From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0 and in my Elevate program. I'm going to say that too. And in Elevate, because pricing is going to come up at every level in the game. But what I know about hobbyists or beginner or novice or photographers that are turning pro, this is what I know, is that y'all are really severely underpricing. You stay at that $100, $150, $200 sessions way too long, right? You don't create really value-packed, juicy, good value packages that really speak to your clients. You don't create those packages. And you wonder why you're getting ghosted, or you wonder why you're not hearing back, right? Like, people want help, especially when it comes to photos. Like, people want an experience, I think sometimes us photographers, we think about the final product so much that we also don't think about all of the other pieces that go into what creates a really, really, really good final product, right? Like, we all know that it's not just about showing up at a shooting and then we're going to be in the most magical images are created. We know that, right? There's hair, there's makeup, there's nails, there's location, there's time of day, there's lighting. There's all of these other pieces that play a very important role into creating the most magical, beautiful images, right? And consumers don't know that, right? So I think that if I had to give a suggestion to photographers, and whether you are a beginner, novice, hobbyist, turning pro, whatever, I just think that, number one, I think it's so important to have a signature service that you offer. Okay? It's so important to have a signature service that you offer. Now, maybe you are in the process of developing that or working on that or being able to name that. If you're there, come to From Hobbyist to Pro, okay? Pay that little $297. We gonna make your money back. Let's get this together. Like, let's do something different in 2025 that you didn't do in 2024 or 2023 to get a different result. Okay, this is available. I think it's important to have signature pricing. I think it's important to have your pricing based on data, right? I think it's important for you to get into the data and start thinking like a business owner, right? And I also think it's important to think about the intangible value add that can be in your packages. It's not just about the images. It's not just about how long you shoot. It's not just about the number of outfits that you give a client, but what are the other intangible things that you do to prep clients to help them get the final result that they really want? Prep calls, mood boards, preferred vendors, outfit suggestions, location suggestions, post call, how to use images post call. That's really good for branding clients or corporate clients, so that they really know, okay, now you have these beautiful images. What you gonna do with them, right? Like, all of these things that we do to add value: engagement session, prep calls, wedding day prep calls, timelines, questionnaires, all of these visual things that we help to bring the vision to life. Like, these are intangible value adds that need to be in your packages, right? And you need to account for how much time it takes you to do these said things, right? So, man, I can talk about pricing for so long, and it's not a one size fits all. Like, let me say that too. I don't believe that you need like how I work with one photographer and helping them come up with the pricing structure is going to fit every photographer. It's not a one size fits all. It's what fits for you based on your goals and your business and your target audience and your service, right? What you include in it, whether it's products or just digital, like, all of these things are important. I work with photographers that do IPS, in-person sales. I work with photographers that only sell digitals. I work with wedding photographers. Oh, come on, balloons. I work with branding photographers. I work with photographers who have studios or just now opened a studio and want to get more bookings inside their studio. I work with all different genres of photography because we are in the business over here, right? This is about business, right? So, really quick, From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0 is my foundational business course, and I'm doing the 2.0 version in April. We start April 2nd, and I'm so excited about it. The early bird rate is going on right now, and you can enroll in this program and work with me all of April, 5 weeks live, coaching, training, all of that. Like all of this, except we're going to be on Zoom, and I'm going to know you, and you're going to know me, and we're going to really get into the tea and then into the business. For 5 weeks, all for $297. Y'all, I literally typically sell this course for $1,500. I actually, like not too long ago, just sold this course for $1,500. But I'm selling it for $297 because this is what I know. Last year was a hard year for a lot of photographers. And photographers need help in their business. Like, I wish that having a photography business was more about shooting. It's not. 20% of our job is shooting. 20%, maybe 25% of our job is shooting. And shooting is a very important piece of this business. Like your work, your style, your consistency, your experience, like all of that is so important. But baby, get into this work. Get into the business, get into the development, get into the marketing, the content, the strategies, right? The roadmap, the plan, the action plan, like the things that you need to do right now to move the needle forward. I'm definitely signing up this week. This has gotten me back excited about my business. I love to hear that. I cannot wait to see you on the inside and work with you and learn more about you, girl. I can't wait. It's going to be good. North Carolina, Durham's in the building, okay? So let's talk a little bit about why underpricing is holding you back in your business. Why underpricing is holding you back in your business. Now, this is what I know to be true. There is a psychology to pricing, right? And I've had clients even tell me, like, I got your rates, and then I got another photographer's rates, and then I came back over to you because there got to be a reason why they were so low. Like, some people that want the expert, that want to get it right the first time out the gate, that want the authority, that want the great experience, maybe they have PTSD, maybe they had bad experiences before. They want the photographer that is not cheap as dirt. They don't want that person. Like, that's a real thing. Like, honestly, I'm kind of like that. Like, if I'm looking for a service provider and their rates are too low, I'm low-key scared. Like, I'm scared. Like, you're going to do my hair, or my hair going to fall out? You know what I mean? Or you're going to come and do my makeup? Is my skin going to break out? Like, do you really know how to do makeup? You know what I mean? Because if you did, the going rate is around this amount and you way lower, right? Underpricing yourself could have you literally losing clients. They could be going on to the next one, especially in certain genres. I would say weddings for sure. I would say branding for sure. I would say portraits for sure. I would say maternity for sure, right? There's a typical kind of like range that clients are seeing from other photographers. And if you're severely under that range, it literally could scream and give red flags of, you're not the one. You're not the expert. You're a beginner. She's just kind of she's testing this out. She don't really know what she's doing. He doesn't really know what they're doing. You don't want people, especially if you know what you're doing, especially if you have the most beautiful work and you know y'all gonna create some beautiful images together. Underpricing could literally have people moving on to the next one, right? I'm definitely signing up. I've had people not book with me because my prices were too low. Yes, it's such a real thing. There is a psychology to pricing, right? And so when you have like an array of packages that you might send to clients and share with clients, you want it to make sense in the form of how you present the packages and then also in the price point. Like, it has to make sense. And where does it have to make sense? It needs to start with you. It needs to make sense to you first, right? And then it needs to make sense clearly to them. Don't overwhelm them with all these options. Gold package, platinum package, AAA package, AAA plus package, runway like all these packages. They're overwhelmed and they're just like, I don't know. And they're just moving on to doing something else that's not going to overwhelm them, right? So underpricing really could be holding you back in your business. It also could be holding you back on actually turning profit in said service, right? If you know you have a package and say your portrait session's 2 hours, let's just say it's 2 hours. And for every 2 hours that you shoot, you take another 2 hours and edit, right? So now that's 4 hours. And from traveling to the session and back, maybe that's another hour and a half, say 2 hours, right? Let's just say 2 hours to keep it easy. So now we're at 6 hours. And you charge $150 for these 6 hours. Let me do the math. Let me get my little calculator out, because one thing about me, I'm going to run a calculation. So we charge $150 for these 6 hours of work that you're going to have to do. That's $25 an hour. Baby, you could drive Uber and make that. Is that really giving lux? Is that really giving high end? Is that really giving expert? Is that really giving authority? And then don't even get into how many images you deliver, right? Like, you work for that 2 hours for the session. You edited it for another 2 hours. You travel back and forth for another hour and a half. You know what I mean? And then you give them 50 images. What are we talking about? This is crazy. It's crazy talk. It's undervaluing, right? You're not thinking like a business owner. That $25 an hour is not enough. It's not enough. I don't even know your cost of doing business. I don't even know your expenses in your business, but I know business enough to know it ain't enough, right? So it's you underpricing could have have clients running the other way, right? It could already give not professional. It could already give they don't know what they doing. It could already give, I'm about to walk all over them. They think they about to do this shoot. I'm about to run this shoot. You know what I mean? Like, those are just situations we don't want to find ourselves in, right? So inside of From Hobbyist to Pro, I walk you through understanding and creating an exact pricing strategy that's going to work for you and your business. It's going to help you work less, make more. That is the goal of business at every stage. I don't care what stage you're at. Work less, make more. Now, everybody might be at a different level in their business. Everybody has a different type of clientele that they want to offer. Everyone has a different deliverables that they give. You know what I mean? Because this, again, it's not a one size fits all. Like, this is not that, right? But that's why you have to get someone to work with and say, hey, this is my pricing. Like, this is what I'm thinking. This is my cost of doing business. These are my sales goals. And if you've never determined sales goals, or you don't know your cost of doing business, and what I'm talking about is like, girl, what? Get into From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0. Like, enroll in this amazing program at the early bird rate. You're here with me. I'm here to help. It's going to change everything. 2025 could absolutely be the best year for business for you. It can be. It really can be. But you have to do something different and be intentional about developing as a business owner. Yes. Work less, make more. Yes, Joel, you get it. Work less, make more. You know what I mean? Like, that is the goal. That truly is the goal. Okay. So From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0 is happening very soon. Again, early bird rate literally ends this Friday. Early bird is $297. You get access to the course material for a whole year. Okay. You get the 5-week live trainings with me, and I'll be your coach. You'll get a community of like-minded photographers doing the work, showing up, doing scary, new, hard things all the time. We're going to talk about pricing. We're going to talk about the data, cost of doing business, sales goals. We're going to talk about content, strategic content, marketing. We're going to be talking about your style of work. And we're going to be talking about just like how to position yourself as the authority and and maybe you're like, well, Ray, I'm still building my authority and my expertise. That's fine. This is how we start. Like, we have to like get started somewhere, right? So we're going to build on all of that. Okay. Hey, Keith. Yes to all of this. Thank you, Melinda. What's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. So stop charging like a hobbyist. Underpricing is having people run away from you, right? You're not making profit. You're looking at what other people are doing and trying to mimic it. That's a horrible strategy. It's a bad idea. A lot of other people probably going to go out of business. Okay? Like, you need to be intentionally looking at certain photographers because you know that they have sustained their business, and you know that, you know what I mean? Like, when you know, right? Everybody's not running business properly. Some people don't even got no LLC. Okay, listen, if you don't got no LLC and your business is not legitimized, get your butt in From Hobbyist to Pro so we can get you together ASAP. Get you together ASAP. Okay, I actually have a training that I did in From Hobbyist to Pro, and it's called Business Readiness. And I talk about all the things that you need in order to legitimize and have your business ready. Another thing I want to say to that is that courses like this, like masterminds, workshops, conferences, courses, educational, all of this is a write-off for your business. It falls under research and development, R&D. Okay. So this is a write-off. Like, it's a no-brainer. To me, it's just like so good, right? And so I'm excited. I'm really excited for this 2.0 version to teach 2025 strategies. If you've been doing stuff pre-pandemic, 2020, 2021, 2022, so much has changed. The world has changed since then. We got to get up to par. We got to get into new strategies, new things, new way, new content, right? Evolve or die. That's what business is about. Evolve or die. Right? Nothing stays the same. Everything always changes. That's okay. We can change. We can grow. We can do it. Right? And content is king. Content is king. And I will be teaching strategic content. I will be teaching strategic content in From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0. And I'm so excited to do pricing audits and content audits and website audits and social audits, baby. I can't wait. We're going to be gathered. We're going to gather. I am going to gather the folks, right? And just give them an opportunity to level up. This is for you. This is for you. So I love to work with fast action takers. I love to work with people that are driven, that want to see the results, that want to get things done, that, want to stop playing small, want to stop pretending that they're running this little bitty business, this little thing they got. No, it ain't nothing little about it. This is big business, right? This is generational wealth breaking business, right? This is something that you can pass down to your kids' business. This is a business that's going to be able to give you freedom, right? This is business that's going to help impact the lives of others. This is business that's going to help you create heirloom legacy images for families and generations to come. Like, the work that we do is not a small feat. Photos matter. Photos are everything. They're everything. Okay. And so you need to be paid well for your time, your talent, your creativity, and all of it. So I'm excited. From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0 will get started very soon. Early bird is here. What about when you charge your worth and then you get ghosted? Oh, Melinda, I love that question. She said, what about the case when you're charging your worth, but you still get ghosted? I'm going to say this. Ghosting happens. Ghosting happens. That's just business. We move on. We move on to the next lead, right? We have a really good follow-up strategy to make sure that we follow up, because maybe they ghosted you and they got busy and they forgot about it. Life happens. Things happen. So we have a really good follow-up strategy. But then we're also like moving on for the next lead, right? I'm a firm believer that what is for me is never going to pass me. The client that is for me is going to be for me, and we're going to just find our way to each other. We're going to work together. My job as a business owner is to put out really great content and show up in value and in service for my people and wherever I know that they're at. Instagram, TikTok, maybe some paid advertising. I'm not big on paid advertising for beginner photographers. I think that you need to focus on learning how to organically market really, really well before you put money behind it. Because you put money behind it and you don't get the results you want, you're going to be even more mad. Right? So organic marketing is going to teach you so much. And then once you know better about messaging and marketing and content and what sticks with your people, then put a little money behind it, right? But ghosting happens. No's happen. People say you're too expensive. This happens, right? So there's nothing that we really can do about it, but continue to show up in our content, continue to show up and talk to our target audience and be available to them and be the expert and be of value and of good service to them. And just know that the next lead, more leads are coming. Like, that's not the last lead, last inquiry, last person that, on the world. There's a billion people. There's so many people that have no idea about you and your business and your services and how amazing and awesome they are, right? And so that's just business, man. And it sucks. Like, I can't say that it doesn't suck. It sucks. Like, getting ghosted sucks. Hearing all the no's suck. Being told that you're too expensive sucks. Like, those things suck. But I think that if this is happening time and time again, my thing is like, let's look at what you're putting out in the world. And is it really, really giving great value and positioning you for to be for your audience? Like, do they see you as the person that they need for real? You know what I mean? Because there might be some holes in your content and holes in positioning your expertise and your thought process, your thought work in the world. And they need to hear more about that so that when they see the prices, they're not price shocked. They're like, I knew you were going to be expensive. Is there a payment plan? You know what I mean? Like, I got to make it happen in however ways I can make it happen. We love clients like that, don't we? We really do love clients like that. So inside of From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0, I'm going to walk you through these exact pricing strategies that I talked about here on this live to ensure that you can make more by doing less, because that is the goal for every business owner under the sun. You know what I mean? And to be able to make an impact with our audience, with the person that you are called to serve, right? Impact, and to be able to create with them and to use your talents and your perspective and your uniqueness and your personality and your gifts in order to make people feel really good and alive and beautiful. Like, all the things that we do as photographers is so special, right? But we have to be willing to develop into the entrepreneur, into the business owner, right? Stop charging like a hobbyist. Stop charging like a hobbyist. So if you are interested in joining me inside of From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0, I would love that. I would love to chat with you more about the program, the 5 live week cohort, to see if it's a good fit for you. I think that, again, if you are new to having a coach, working with someone in your business, this is a perfect opportunity for you to take a test spin, take a little risk, and watch the big rewards come your way. And if you're a newer photographer, kind of running business like a hobbyist, running it by the seats of your pants, but you want to see something different happen to you in 2025, like you want to actually make more money, you want to book clients that love your work, you want to position yourself as authority, you want to be more consistent in your content and showing up, come and get this information. And be a part of this amazing cohort. I'm looking forward to it. So you can comment the word grow. I'm about to hop off the live, but you can comment the word grow, and we can start a conversation in the DM. You can head to the link in my bio and go ahead and sign up. Early bird ends on Friday, February 28th. We are at the end of February. So early bird ends this Friday. Early bird is a chance for you to save $100 on your enrollment for this cohort, and get your seat snagged, so you can get in there, and we'll go from there. Ira Bat, let me know if I said your name right. Ira Bat. I don't know. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm about to send you a DM so we can chit chat. I see grow. So, okay, I'm about to give y'all some tea. I'm about to give you some tea. Just make y'all laugh before we get off this live, because it's just us, right? Like, it's just us talking. So my Facebook got hacked last year, and pretty much it's a goner. So I had to restart my Facebook. So I don't have my mini chats and stuff like that. So when people comment, yep, I'm doing it all manually. It's crazy. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do, in business, and that's just what it's about. So we are going to talk more about From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0, Ira Bat, and I'm excited to help you. Nacogdoches, okay? Nacogdoches in the building. So anyway, I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to go make me some dinner. I hope this pricing conversation was helpful. Again, data is so important. Cost of doing business, sales goals, capacity, right? While underpricing is is holding you back in your business. And also some mistakes that I see a lot of beginner photographers make when it comes to pricing. I shared all of these things here on this live. I will be doing another live before early bird ends. and we're going to be talking about some content. If you want some content gems, please head to my stories, because I had a little mini masterclass in the stories around content creation. But that just is like literally scraping the surface on the type of things that we're going to discuss and go over in From Hobbyist to Pro 2.0. I'm going to have a whole training on strategic content. I'm going to give a whole bunch of ideas, visual ideas, and just like written out ideas of content that you can create. We're going to be talking about pricing and doing website audits and just everything, right? Everything to up level you from hobbyist to pro, business development for photographers. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And I will talk to you guys soon. I'll see you soon. Any questions? If you're catching the replay, let me know. Holla at me in my DM. DMs are open. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Okay, bye.